bomb attacks and stuff that was in that area didn't knock down. So I was coming through the woodline.
What time of the day was this?
This was in the evening time. It was probably about 5:30 or something like that.
So you still see?
Oh yeah, you still see, but there was still hard to get through.
Okay.
And we had to get out of there as fast as we can because they're still shooting at us, And they finally told us to come on. And we're pinned down up there with them shooting at us, so we got to low crawl for a while and get up and run and then get down and you'd weave and stuff like that, try to keep them get hit,
And you brought your weapon with you?
And yeah, but I dumped my last barrel.
Okay.
My barrel, those barrels turn red hot. I mean, they when you dump them on the ground, they'll actually sit there and start a fire right there in the grass because they're so hot, And we pulled him back, and Steve was on that side, and I looked back over there, and all of a sudden he starts flipping and yelling and screaming and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, Steve got hit, man. So I start working my way over to him and said, Steve, man. And I got his attention there, and he just hollered. He said, man, I'm hurting, I'm hurting. And I said, you're hit, what's wrong? And he said, man, I'm in pain. And so he's like a chicken with his head cut off, flipping around over there. So I made it up to him, and the RTO, which got wrote the book, he made it up to him. We both made about the same time, crawling and stuff through the trees, because we thought he took around. And we'd been out in the jungle for a pretty good while, and our clothes were rotted. And his was rotted out in front, and you don't have no underwear or nothing, and it was ripped up to the front. He didn't dump his gun barrel, and he hit one of them I got you vine, those limbs and stuff. His machine gun barrel come about, and his dick come on across his machine gun barrel, and he burned a big hunk. It was burning on the barrel. When I got there, it was a fire on the barrel, and a quarter pecker burning on the darn barrel of that machine gun, and that's why he was flipping and hollering and everything. And we got him out of there, and we made it back up there. They had blowed out the trees and everything, and so we got medevaced. I mean, we didn't. He did. He got medevaced out of there, but he didn't stay out about 2 days. They just, what they could do is just put some stuff on there and bandage it up and send him back out there, So that was just one of the crazy days. I mean, it's like that every day. And I told him this other story, but Mom was like that all the time. What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you
just
doing?
Playing with this.
Oh, I thought you were taping all of this.
I am.
But it's just one story after another like that. I can tell you the other story. I told them one about when we first got there and everything, and they'd made a jump in close to Benoit, where we'd stationed at, and they made that jump and stuff, and they trucked us in on deuce and a half, the new guys in on deuce and a half to go out and meet the company. Well, we was going out there to meet them and stuff, and some of the old timers that went with us was up on the deuce and a half and everything, and we going down what they called Highway 1, and it started getting into this tree area, real over the dark inside the trees and stuff, and the deuce and a half, and it was in the evening too, and we started going through all of that. It was like 4, it wasn't really late, and all those guys started getting real quiet, and then they started like just watching stuff. Well, I thought I was bad, That's my first time when I give a whole one of them little dudes, I would rip their heads off. I'm bad. I got inside there, I was on top of that deuce and a half, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, it just rocked your world, the biggest, loudest booms you ever heard in your life. And all of a sudden, they're screaming, guys flipping over beside you with their eyes messed up and stuff, and hair, the stinks of the hair, and the burn and stuff like that, and just all of a sudden, and then the impact of it just was overwhelming, and the noise you heard and everything, and then it just sort of stunned you for a little while, and then all the next thing you know, there's people screaming and just bad scene all around. So we sitting there, and when it said, man, so me and him were freaking out. We're new to this, So we jump off the truck. We run over we get up behind this old big log over there and get him behind it. Both of us were crying like little kids. We wasn't so bad because we didn't even see nobody to fight. And there were people bloodied up and a couple of dead and wounded all around and everything. We thought, we're dead, And as soon as it started, everything stopped. It got quiet and everything stopped. And it just all you could hear just a ringing in your ears and stuff, and it just, it didn't even get a picture of what all happened and everything. And I said, man, I don't like this place. You don't even see none of them guys. And they just blow you away, and you don't even see them, you know. And then they act like, all the other guys, they act like that's just an everyday thing in Vietnam. That's just life in Vietnam. And life didn't mean anything, you know. It ended that quick. No, me and him, we were freaking out. Oh, wow, what we got ourselves into, man.
Wow.
And so we get to the unit, and the guys that we're assigned to are out on ambushes and stuff out in the field and on maneuvers. And they bring in some bodies, and a couple of these bodies were hit with white phosphorus and stuff. And they were blowed all the way and stuff, and they had these body bags. Well, they come up to me and Steve and said, we need y'all to identify these bodies. We just got in the country, man. We don't know nobody around here. Look, you're the only ones around. We got to send these bodies back to the state. It's going to be a closed casket funeral. All you got to do is sign these papers saying we'll tell you who we think it is. And we look inside. They open the bags up, and there's arm of a black dude and a body of a white dude. Man, that's mixed bodies inside there. And they said, that it don't make any difference. All you do is sign these. And we're thinking, man, we're part of this stuff. Well, I'm ready to go back to the house. And so we said, well, we got, what we got to do, man? I'm not going out. I said, that white phosphorus stuff, I've never seen it. That ate that body up so bad that I ain't going to do it. So we went and we decided to mess ourselves up real bad. So we took our shirts off and we just burned the pudding out of ourselves. Our shoulders had big webs all over them and everything because we didn't want to go to the field. We were scared.
Right.
So all day long we was out there in that sun. We're new there in the country, so it just blistered us so bad. We were just boils all over our shoulder, big blisters all over there. Some of them had already popped and was running down, and there's all skin there and everything. And said, well, we can't put our rucksacks on, so we ain't going to have to go. So the company comes in that night, and they're fixing to go on the ambush, and they said, Prince, you and Jack Carter, y'all get your stuff together, y'all going out on the ambush. Well, we can't do it, man. Shoulders messed up. He said, get your stuff on, you're going. Man, I can't do it. I told you, I'm burning up. He said, well, come go, man. So he takes us to the company commander set up in a bunker-like deal. Well, there's it. And he's the one that signs all this stuff and sends them out and everything. He told the company commander, says, called him, Sergeant Major, these guys here said that they're not going to go out on this ambush and stuff. And he said, get your stuff on and go on your ambush like you're told. So I can't do it, man. I said, well, my shoulder's all messed up. He says, you got a choice. He says, you can get your stuff on, you can go out with these people here, or you can go to Long Bend now and stay the rest of this year in jail. I said, for what? And he says, you destroyed government property. You are government property, son, and you burnt yourself beyond recognition here. You put your rucksack on, you get out there with them like you're told, or you go to jail. Make up your mind right now. We put our rucksacks on and go out and stuff. And the first darn night, first ambush, these guys said, oh, I'm a cherry. They went to sleep. 2 Vietnamese coming down the trail, walking down the trail. I tried to wake one of the dudes up, and he started making noise. And I got the machine gun on him. I opened up, and they had to drag me off the machine gun. And I was shooting them. They were crying mom and stuff. My first night out in the field, you know, and they were crossing, they were talking, coming right down the trail.
The VCs? And
yeah.
And you got them?
Yeah. Yeah, the next morning we went out there and killed them both.
Mm.
Yeah.
How old were they, you think?
They're young. They look like little old kids. I mean, they look like...
So U.S. Army was older?
No, we were
The
young.
average age was equal?
No, some of theirs were younger.
That's
some
what
of some of their guys we found it
14,
like
16?
babies. Yeah, some of them look like
Wow.
that. They look younger than that. They could have been older though. But when you first see the Vietnamese look young for a long time.
The facial
guys,
hair, they have
yeah,
normal
they
facial
know
hair.
facial hair and stuff. They just look really young, you know, and you feel, you know, you really feel sorry for them and everything. But they're very good fighters, you know. They're very hard to detect. They're very hard to see. They fought French over there. They fought wars over there in their area. So you're fighting in their backyard. You're fighting in their backyard.
They're fighting in their backyard.
And
it's their playground.
It's hard to deal with them.
You know why they fought so good? We trained them to fight the Japanese in World War II.
Yeah. But they were good fighters. They hand-to-hand combat, you could whip them pretty easy because you just
Overpower 'em.
overpower them, yeah.
Yeah,
you
but
could,
there wasn't a whole lot of that going on, was there?
well, like we got on Hill 875, we got we had 2 regiments of VC all around us, so it's like 50 to 1 or 30 something to 1 or something like that. It was so many of them to 1. They just surrounded us up there in Dot Toe. And the Norhana told us on the radio, we know where you're at, we know you're under strength, and we're actually, we was in between Laos and Cambodia. It was right in there on their borderline, and there was a few Chinese and everything, and they were just outnumbered us so much that they overran us there. They just surrounded us, and they was coming in at night and stuff like that. We fought them all day, all night, and I was telling them up there on that hill, and in the evening we had dug in and stuff, and all the wounded was over here in this one area, in the CP, and the captains and stuff were all having a meeting, and they had this one guy in from West Point was supposed to be a crackerjack and calling in airstrikes and stuff. Well, he called in the flares and stuff, and then something happened. There's a drift in that valley. They drifted right over the center of our company, and the bomber come over and dropped the bombs right on top, big 500-pound bombs right on top of us, and it just blew one of my buddies from here to there apart, and he was dragging the front for his torso, wanting me to shoot him, and all over the top of these trees that blew over us, there was body bleeding down and stuff, and it just quite killed all the officers.
So your buddy wanted you to shoot him to get him out of his camp?
Yeah, he wanted
put
to
him out of
shoot him
his
so he
mission.
wouldn't hurt. But he, and you can't do that. It seemed like forever that he's crying and stuff and screaming for you to shoot him. He's trying to crawl over there, wanting you to take the gun and shoot
No
him.
morphine though? You couldn't just like give him some extra morphine?
I didn't have any morphine syringes on me. I didn't have none. The squads like I was, we didn't. Most of the medics, and they had decimated people. But those went so fast, they were already used up on all the wounded and everything. There was no morphine or nothing left.
A lot of people, yeah, there was a lot of morphine being used. And,
A lot of people got bad habits coming back home, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but that over there, no, we didn't use it.
No?
Especially,
we didn't use it with
I
it.
was thinking World War II.
World War II, definitely. There was a lot of people.
Guys
addicted.
didn't use it over there. These things were like spring loaded, and you'd hit your leg with them like that, and shoot a needle down into your leg and inject the morphine into you. And we knew that, you know, if you get into a big fat firefight and you need it, your legs blowed off and stuff, that's when you want to. You don't want to sit there and mess with morphine just because you can, you know. But you didn't have time for stuff like that. You didn't have time to do.
You needed to be alert.
Yeah, you needed to have all the facilities that God gave you to keep yourself alive.
They say that they could smell the Viet Cong and they could smell us.
That's what he was saying.
Because
You could smell them because there was rice. They ate rice, like rice
knock something.
and you could smell the sin of them, and they could smell us. They said we smell like hamburgers, is what they said. And we didn't have hamburgers out there. We had sea rations from 1947. All I could eat was like the beanie weenies with the beans. I traded ham and lime with everything I had, and that's all I'd have. I'd get less food, but that's all I could stand to eat. Because those ham and limers, ooh, that just killed me to eat that stuff. And then I would trade all my non-filtered cigarettes, and I'd have a few Marlboros. I started smoking when I got to Vietnam. But I would trade, and I didn't smoke it much because I couldn't get that many of them. Them other guys, I'd trade about 4 packs of, they were coming in about 5 cigarettes to a little box.
Little beanies, you mean? I mean, beaties?
Little bitty, like sample packs or something, you know, is what we got.
Without filters, right?
Sample cigarettes.
Most of them had no filters,
the
and
beaties.
some of them had some,
It's good. How we doing, guys? How was dinner?
But,
That's why I could sit here all night just listening to it.
My dad's dad was in